Yo, we are back. Goodfellas, it's your boy Dougie. I got my guys with me again. A Will, 5. What's cracking, man?
Feels good, man. Hey, we had a perfect mic check today.
Perfect mic
I just want to shout that out real quick. We had a perfect mic check today.
Yes. Crystal clear.
So we ready. We back.
Last day of Black History Month. That's why it was a perfect mic check.
Last day of February.
Yeah,
That's why it's perfect.
Black History Month.
Great month.
Black History Month.
Black History Month.
every month.
Look at you. I see what I see. And you a little spiffy today. You got a board meeting.
I did low key. Yeah.
Have a meeting? Yeah, it looked like crystal crispy.
I did have me.
I was cutting
That's
myself.
what you get to wear to work?
Sometimes.
Oh,
Sometimes.
okay. Must be nice.
Now I got to dress up.
Rich Central colors too, man. You got the red, white, and blue going on.
Okay, rep.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, my lord. Look like
where,
you.
where your central colors at, man?
Up. Put up.
What you got on?
Negro League. Negro League style. Last day of Black History Month. But by the time people see this, it's gonna be March 1st.
It is.
So
Where you green at?
green.
Yeah,
St. Patrick's.
St.
Is
Patrick's
that-
Day.
Where yours at?
I don't have it on. It ain't March yet.
Oh, okay. I don't have mine on. Same rules apply to you about me. Man, it's a lot of money being thrown around.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And I ain't getting none of it.
I ain't not a man. Look.
I did get a raise this week.
Oh, so no, you out here.
You out here living.
What?
You out here
Just
living.
came in here drinking water and didn't want to bring nothing to eat. You just out here like, you know what, I'm going to just come in here real subtle.
Living his best
You know what I'm
life.
saying? Oh.
That's
Boy,
what
I don't
he
think I
did.
read it. You look at
So
him.
he is getting some of that money.
What?
I got a little money. Just a little money that's thrown around.
I ain't got none of that.
I ain't got no nigga. I got to play FanDuel.
I ain't getting no tax money back.
Mm.
Shit, but it's looking.
Trump got you.
Woo.
Oh my God.
Well, Mama got me last year too. I mean, 2 years ago, so it don't even matter.
Speaking of taxes, how much is Bryce Harper gonna have to ante up? If you don't know by now, Bryce Harper just got a. Hey, Will, you want to explain him that? But like A. Will said, the deal wasn't necessarily like a super dumb amount of like
Nah, it wasn't a lot
per
of money.
year.
Nah. He got 13 years, $330 million. So that breaks down to 25.8 million a year.
Whew.
But the thing about his deal that's the most impressive, Bryce Harper is currently 26 years old. So in 13 years, he'll be 39.
Yeah.
He has a full no trade clause, and he has no opt out, like no options at all. So like no player options, no team options. That man is in Philly for 13 years, playing in the outfield.
13 years, bro. It's gonna be 2032. Bruh.
And he still be making 25 million.
Still be making $25 million at the age of 39, going on 40.
How old we gonna be?
Old as hell.
Don't, shut up.
Old as hell.
Damn, wearing the 4-5, it ain't to play game.
These gonna be more like 55.
We gonna be on episode. We gonna be on episode 40,055.
Listen.
Ah, dog.
Somebody gonna have to wheel me in here.
Shoot, hopefully Aaliyah, get that softball contract. We all be eating.
Yeah. Eating.
Bruh, that's a lot of money, man.
A lot.
But the dopest part is,
The no trade.
yeah.
The full no trade clause and no options. Man, listen.
I mean, if you're a Phillies fan, you can actually have the, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about if I buy these tickets, is my star player gonna play?
Yes, you do.
Why?
Bro, Harper, so look at it from two ways, right? Harper is there for the long run.
Right.
But the Phillies are betting that Harper is going to be good for at least 8, let's say 8 to 10 of those years, right? So for the next 8 to 10 years, they're expecting Harper to be the face of their franchise, carry their franchise, like put them back in the pennant race,
Right.
put them back in the playoffs to start. If Harper has let's say Harper has like 3 down years in a row, Philly fans is gonna be pissed.
Well, I mean, I was just talking from the aspect of like, with basketball now, like it's kind of like skeptical when you trying to go buy tickets. It's like, are they gonna play? Is he gonna be traded? Like with Bryce Harper, at least he's gonna be there. Like whether they good or not, you buy a ticket and you want to see Bryce Harper for the next 13 years, you gonna see Bryce Harper.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the flip of that. What if Bryce goes to the team? They don't put no pieces around. They ain't winning in the next 3 years. He go to the team and he say, trade me, and he can say, I want to go here. They can't just go field offers. He can say, I want to go to Chicago. I want to go to New York. So I get what you're saying, but look at the flip side. Bryce actually has that franchise in a stranglehold.
Which will happen.
You think it's gonna happen?
Yeah, absolutely, man. If they don't put any pieces around them, like, it will happen.
Yeah,
Like,
but I think baseball is way more patience than basketball. I would say it's a little bit more patience. Like if he's in it for signing a deal for 13 years,
he's 26 years
he's
old.
26. I mean, I can see by like he 30. If they haven't moved forward, like progressing each year at
Yeah,
least.
that's
You know
only
what I'm
4
saying?
years though, right?
But I'm saying as
That's
long as
four
they
out of the 13 years.
But if they progressing moving forward, like if they progressing each year, I don't think, you know what I mean? But like in basketball, you can progress, you can be the coach of the year and you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
So
You
win
know
now
what I mean?
league.
So that?
That's a win now league.
Yeah,
I
so-
don't think baseball really is.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little bit more patience.
But at the same time, like when you got a top notch
Oh,
guy on your team,
yeah,
like
man.
you expected to win ball game.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Otherwise, you get traded to the Yankees. That's just
And
what
then
they
you just win.
That's what they do.
Who? Nolan Arenado.
Archie Bunker.
Just call him Nova.
I don't call him Arenado.
Okay.
Archie Bunker.
No, Arenado.
I hope that's right.
Hey, we gonna tag him in it. Like, hey, bro, how you say your name? 8 years, $260 million to the Rockies.
Staying with the Rockies.
To the Rockies.
32.5 million a year.
Bro, if you raising your kids, yo, get them into baseball now.
I disagree with that.
Now.
I disagree with that.
Just for the money.
No, I disagree with
Just
that.
for the money.
Hey, you wanna know why?
Why?
Mark Teixeira brought up a great point. So a lot of players get drafted and they never make it to the show.
Oh.
So he said in his year that he got drafted, it was him and maybe 2 or 3 other players that made it to the big leagues. That's it. Like everybody else stayed in the minors. So it's not a guarantee that you're gonna make it to the show.
No. But as far as it's guaranteed money, though.
And your kid might not be that damn good.
I mean,
just because a kid play baseball don't mean he gonna be absolutely like. You gotta be outstanding. Like it's the same thing as basketball. Like you can't just be just good. Like,
But to
you
play-
have to be outstanding.
to play baseball professionally without going up like in America, like you could come right out of. There's so many rounds in baseball, and they got 3 different levels.
Yeah, but you also have to think about it. It's not a globalized game either.
Right. So that's
the
my
thing. That's the thing
yeah.
with baseball.
So with basketball, you just got 2
just like
rounds.
football. Just like football.
Oh yeah.
Well, baseball is becoming it's becoming
More
more
global,
globalized.
yeah.
More global, but it ain't global though.
Nah.
I wouldn't call it a global sport right now.
It's America's
like-
pastime.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like soccer or basketball or, it's always it'll
America's
always
pastime.
be an American sport.
Yeah. And Machado, I don't even want to speak on Machado, bro.
You that hurt?
We gotta get rid of some people in the front office.
We've been saying that for 15 years.
We need to say it again. All right.
I mean, but like I was telling y'all earlier, if even if the White Sox, because from what I read, the White Sox deal was actually more money than the Padres deal, but that was more so like incentive based or whatever.
Right.
As far as it climbing higher, you choosing Chicago versus LA,
San Diego.
San Diego.
California.
San Diego ain't LA.
It's close enough, right?
No, that's like St.
It's
Louis and
probably- yeah,
Chicago.
4 hours. 4 hours ain't that far.
It's like St. Louis and Chicago.
4 hours. That ain't. I drove. It's cool. But I mean, Chicago versus California, Illinois versus California. What you want to do?
I mean, you're gonna be making probably less. You're gonna be making way less money. 'Cause of
Yeah,
the taxes.
taxes, yeah.
Taxes gonna hit them hard.
Oh man.
But the weather is great in San Diego. Yeah, I get it. I mean, but it's beautiful here in the summertime too. It ain't like he gonna be playing here in the winter. Like if
Like,
like
it
I
ain't
can
like
see-
spring training is here.
yeah, no. I mean, you're gonna be in Arizona for a month and a half. You have to deal with a month of somewhat cold weather, and then summertime is beautiful.
It's our front office.
I like how y'all trying to sell me on Chicago.
It's our front office.
Now, the
bro.
summertime shot, I can sell anybody on that.
Definitely. Except
So
Machado.
if you had an offer on the table, stay in Chicago or go to California, where y'all
I ain't gotta play professional sports to do that.
going? Where you going?
I'm going to what you say, to Cali?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Pack my bags.
What's saying?
I'm getting flued out, you know?
Blood out. Y'all thought that man was coming.
I mean, a pop headband on the
Hey,
plane.
look.
You feel?
Going for YG. Man.
Oh man.
But nah, the White Sox, man, we gotta Kenny Williams.
I mean, Kenny tried to do his thing. He tried. He tried.
I need more than trying. I need you to make some things happen.
Look, I think this year though, in baseball free agency, we seen that it might not have necessarily been about the money. It might have more so been about for me it looked like Harper, it was the patience, the longevity, like the ability to be, I'm here. Like I'm here, I'm your franchise. For Machado, with his 10-year deal, he has a 5-year opt-out. So to me, for him, it was like, okay, yeah, he probably wanted $300 million, but I think he wanted that flexibility once he got in his 30s to be able to say, okay, do I want to stay here or do I want to go? Even with Nolan with the Rockies, his opt-out is after 3 years. So he's gonna be making 32 and a half. After 3 years, he can decide if he want to stay in Colorado or not. And Colorado did just make the wild card game last year. So for him, it's probably like we'll continue to trend up. But like I said, in baseball, if you have a down year or two, he can decide, I don't want to be here no more. And hit the market again and maybe make more money.
It's always about making more money. Speaking of more money, how much more money is Zion gonna make on his sneaker deal now that he bust his shoe? And who did he bust his shoe against? 5? What game was that?
Against the University of North Carolina.
Tar Heels. Hey guy with the fresh button up. Hey guy.
Who won that game?
That look like some Carolina blue you got on right there, Chuck.
Ooh.
Hey!
Wow.
Who won that game?
Who won that game?
I missed that.
This is
Did you see
very
the
sad.
transition?
This is very sad.
Dude, you should have heard the shit talking that was going on in here about
Oh.
oh man, they said we didn't have a chance. Luke May wasn't
You
gonna
didn't
do
have a
nothing.
chance.
Luke May wasn't
went
gonna
crazy.
do nothing.
Yeah, it's the best player in college basketball wasn't on the court,
Y'all
but
got-
for 33
So
seconds.
y'all ain't got nobody else to stick
Hey
with
man, I
yet?
told y'all how I feel about RJ Barrett. The man is a gun,
But
okay?
say it again.
Gun.
G-U-N.
Gun. That boy, I ain't never seen a player going 1-on-4 fast break and still try to get to the basket.
He'll shoot you out of house and home, yeah?
He don't wait for nobody to come down the court. You hear me?
Hey.
He's gonna have a tough transition to the NBA. He really doesn't have a position to me. Like he's not a pass first guard. He's not a pass happy guard. I should
He
say.
ain't a pass at all, guard. Okay? Let's call it what it is.
He's gonna have a hard transition to the NBA. But let's get back to Zion though. Like,
That looked like a movie.
If he
so
was
he's
on,
signing
so,
with Adidas right now.
no,
I
he's going to
still think
Nike.
he's going to Nike.
He's still gonna go to Nike.
Yeah.
I think he's still going to go to Nike.
I wouldn't be surprised if he stepped back on the court and have on a different pair of shoes. Like a different, I'm not saying like a fresh new pair of Paul George shoes, but I'm saying like a different Nike altogether.
Is Nike sponsored? Is Nike sponsored, dude?
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so he has to wear Nike.
Yeah.
He has to wear.
I think they were saying, like, with him, he was wearing, like, the same, like,
He wore the
pair.
same shoe
Yeah.
all year long.
Yeah.
You know, I never understood how basketball players switch shoes every game. I never understood it. Like you always need to at least run in a pair of shoes. Like
To
to
break
me,
them in.
yeah, like at least for like 3, 4, 5 days to even get comfortable in them. I don't understand how they do it.
Well, I think because Chuck was saying he played
About a
and
week.
he's saying for a week, and then he said like other players they do like a new pair of game. So they probably practice them or do the pregame walkthrough or whatever.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Some, nowadays, it ain't even a game. Some players switch shoes at halftime.
Yeah.
I tell you what happened. Those shoes wasn't broken in.
Man, I'm talking about.
The way that's
It was star-studded too, man. Obama, who else? Spike Lee. Man, he had.
I think two
I mean,
two
what-
Chainz was there, wasn't
Yep, two
Yeah.
cents there. What they said ticket price was going for?
2,600.
he? No.
No,
No, it's
36.
higher.
36.
They higher.
36.
It was like 34, 36, right?
Yeah, but that was on the
For the
aftermarket.
cheap
That was on the aftermarket.
seats.
That was on the aftermarket.
Well, of course it was on the aftermarket.
Oh my God.
You
Pay
think
the
somebody-
kids.
you
Pay
think
the kids.
Nah. It's hard. Like,
Listen, I don't know where you want to go. Do you want to go into
yeah,
that
let's
right
go.
now?
Let's go.
We can go into that
Let's
right
go.
now.
Pay the kids.
No.
Go ahead.
If
So I'm gonna get into it, right? And I'm gonna give y'all two parts, and I'm gonna shout out Zach on this one because I listened to Zach off the Glass podcast, and I agree with him, right? But I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers, and I said this: when you look at the blue blood schools, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, Kansas, Michigan State, when you look at those schools, they're always on TV. Their games are always going to be sold out, right? So it doesn't matter if they get the number 1, the number 10, the number 50, the number 100 rated player in the nation. Their games are going to sell out, right? So to say they're like, so do I think the players should get, I don't like this whole thing of Zion came to Duke, he's making Duke more money. Like, Duke is going to make money regardless. Duke made money when Greg Paulus was on their team, right? North Carolina made money when Ed Cota
man,
was
when Doherty, no, what's his name was our coach?
Brad Doherty.
When
Brad
Doherty.
Doherty was good.
Oh God.
When he was the coach, North Carolina was still on TV. They were still making money, right? Now, I could see maybe saying like jersey sales increase and the school gets a part of that money. Should the kids get that? But their names aren't on the back of the jersey. It still just says Duke with the number 1. Now, I know everybody say, oh, well, we know that number 1 represents Zion, right? And or the number 1 represented Jabari when he was there, so on and so forth. I think if players are going to get paid, they should get paid for their merchandise. So let them sell merchandise. Let them sell their, like, sign stuff and sell that. Let them, you know, if Zion wants to sign a deal, so I like how they were talking about, like, if Nike wants to sign Zion to a contract, he can get paid that way, right? Because they can't work. But to flat out say, like, every player on the team makes X amount of dollars, I've always said this. How do you decide what the walk-on makes? How do you decide what the scholarship player that never steps on the court makes? Like, does Zion make, if Zion makes $5,000, then what does RJ Barrett make, right? Then what does the number 50 of rated player make? So it's not as easy or simple as 1, 2, 3. But as Zach said on his podcast, if you have players like Zion, RJ, and Cam, if they went to a HBCU where the games ain't on TV, the games aren't sold out, people aren't buying their merchandise, now we can see a direct correlation to that player and what they're doing for that university. Because then they will sell out the stadiums. They will be on ESPN. So that does generate more money and revenue to the school to be able to afford some of the facilities that these blue bloods have. So that's more of a sell to me than these players going to a blue blood. And the biggest thing is these players, they already have the ability to go overseas. They don't necessarily have to go to college. They can go to the G League or they can go overseas if they really want to make money. Let's be real. They're going to college because they want to be seen on TV. Period. And Ben Simmons, he even made it known, like the whole second semester, they don't have to go to class.
They know they're going to the league.
They don't have, all they got to do is go to class one semester. Get the GPA to be eligible, they ain't got to go to class the whole second semester. So, no,
That's love, man.
come on. That's just my take. I'm not with it. Like if they want to, if you want to sign them to a deal like Nike, Adidas, Puma, Under Armour, I'm with that. If you allow them to create shirts and merchandise, like market themselves and sell that and make money off that, I'm cool with that. If you allow them to sign their name, I'm cool with that. But to just flat out get these, I don't think you could do it.
5.
2 parts. So now we start getting into everybody that's on scholarship, right?
Yep.
So now, so say at Duke, right? Duke's a basketball school, right?
Yep.
Make majority money on basketball. You think the football players ain't gonna want any money? You think the baseball players ain't gonna want any money? You think the volleyball players not gonna want any money? So now you get into a power struggle, right? So now you gotta balance it out, so right? So it has to be some type. You can't be discriminatory with who you're going to give the money to, because that now you're gonna get unions involved, you're gonna get the NCAA involved, you're gonna get people with parents involved, you're gonna get coaches involved. Like everybody's gonna want a piece of that pie, and I don't think universities are capable of splitting it. I mean, not evenly. And you talk about the Dukes, we talk about the North Carolinas. What about the Lehighs? What about the UICs? What about the Miami Ohio's, the Northern Illinois? Like those players gonna want money too. Like this is not just a in general thing. Like this is gonna have to be a well thought out process, and it's gonna have to cover all sports, even women's golf. I'm not knocking women's golf at all, but those players on scholarship too. Like, I don't care how many times Zion is on TV. The women's golf team, they're on scholarship. They work hard. They deserve some money too. Like, this is not going to be just a one-lane street.
No.
Who's ever on TV gets the most money. All right? 2, I hate this. This is like my pet peeve with the whole player should be getting paid.
Mm.
More money equals more problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're talking about college kids.
Yep.
All right, what do you think they're gonna do with that downtime, in their downtime, with extra money in their hands? All right, so everybody's on board with them having all this extra money, being able to do this, being able to do that. What are you gonna do when those players get in trouble? Who's gonna be there to say, oh, the players should be getting paid now, and they get paid, and then they start having more issues on campus because they got extra money. What do college kids do when they have extra money? They party more, they drink more, they're feeding addictions. I mean,
Entourage.
we're talking about college. We're talking about 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
All right? I'm not saying that everybody's gonna do that. I'm not saying that everybody's gonna manage that money the same way. But I'm saying there's going to be more trouble on these campuses than ever. All right, football players, basketball players, like when they have more money, they already are attention getters, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're already attention getters. All right. So now when they have more money and they start partying more, where's everybody's gonna be then? You know, where's everybody gonna be? Oh, you guys are just hogging them because they're getting paid. I don't want to hear that. All right. A lot of these players already get in trouble right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we hear about a different scandal or somebody getting suspended or, something happening on every other campus every year. Like, this is not just a once every blue moon type deal. Like, and that's my thing. I don't want to see the kids, and I call them kids, but they're really young adults.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see them make bad decisions because they have more money on their hands. All right, they don't know how to handle it. If they're gonna give them more money, they are gonna go that route. They need to take classes, learn how to manage it, learn savings, learn how to invest. They have to have. It has to be some type of correlation with that. We can't just give you more money, do what you want to do with it. Like, no, it can't be that. These are, like I said, these are young adults. All right, they need structure. All right, they're in college because they're looking for that structure. Just like A. Will said, if they want to just get money and do whatever the hell they wanted to do, they go overseas. All right, they go to the G League. I mean, they wouldn't be in college. They're in college because those coaches and the universities provide structure. All right, they provide some type of comfort. All right, and they provide some type of mentorship for these kids, and they have to keep that going. And if you're gonna give them more money, it has to be stronger than ever. You cannot just give these young adults more money and let them just go buck wild, because that's what you'll have. And you'll see more scandals, and you'll see more trouble on these campuses than you ever will. I guarantee you. I'm not trying to put it in the air,
That's your gut feeling.
I've just been in college. I know how it goes down. I mean, I'm not saying I went to the biggest party school in the world, but when you have more time on your hands, more money in your pocket, you make bad decisions at times. Especially people who are not being watched over, as they don't be watched over like that during the off season. Because if you pay them during the season, guess what? You got to pay them in the off season too. All right, it's not just you just get paid over the season type deal. Like when March comes, March Madness is over, April you're still gonna get money.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do with it?
So what do y'all gotta say to the people that are saying like with Zion, like if he would have messed up his leg, couldn't play basketball no more?
So
Like what do you gotta say to those people? Because like I agree with what you said. Like something has to be done where like if they signing off their memorabilia, like something has to be done. They need to get paid something because this man, if he would have hurt his leg and wouldn't have been able to play basketball no more. $8 million.
So let me ask this question. So I'm gonna flip it this way. But before I do that, I want to piggyback off what Five was saying with the not paying, right? Or giving them classes. That's what it was. Giving them classes. If they don't have to, so if you have one and done prospects, right, and you're gonna pay them, then the classes that they should be taking that second semester should be money management classes or something to that nature. So I do like that point. But if they're not going to college to take classes towards a degree, make them take classes towards, life that'll put them in positions. So I do agree with that. Now back to your question. I'm gonna flip it this way. If Joel Embiid went to Kansas for 1 year, he played half the year. He was playing like off and on because of his back. He got drafted. Let's say Joel never played a game in the NBA, right? Or he played one season and tore his back up. Mm-hmm. Do we not care about him having a lifelong injury or not being able to play the game of basketball because he got paid? That's always been my argument with that stance. Like, if he gets hurt in college, he got hurt playing a game that he loved, not getting paid. But what happens if you play the game you love, you're getting paid and you get hurt and nobody ever resigns you? Like you never get another contract. Look at Greg Oden. What is Greg Oden doing? Greg Oden was supposed to be a surefire prospect. He went to Ohio State. He was, I wouldn't say injury free, but he had a good first year, went to Portland. He broke his hand or something.
His hand or wrist or something like that.
Played 1 year in Portland. No, he didn't even, his rookie year, he didn't even play because he tore his ACL. Yeah, right? Yeah. And then, I think his second year, he tore the other one or something like that.
Patella in his knee.
He was just, injury prone. But it was okay because he was getting paid. That's horrible to me. I still want to, if I'm Greg Oden, I still want to play the game of basketball.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, I may feel a little better because I'm not playing, but I'm still getting $20 million this year. But at the end of the day, they want to play basketball. His life has been always centered around basketball. What was Greg Oden's second option if he wasn't a basketball player? What was his life option? He probably don't even know that because he probably thought, I'm going to play basketball for at least 13 seasons. I'm going to make all this money. I'm going to be good. And to me, that's another thing. And I agree. That's why I said with Five, teach them life classes because you got to prepare for a life after whatever. Life after athletics. Mm-hmm. Nobody is helping these kids learn or understand life after athletics. I don't even know if we've seen a player besides LeBron in the last 30 years get it that fast about life after basketball. Mm-hmm. Right? Where they were setting not only themselves up, but their friends up for life after this. So I don't agree with that. No.
Wow. When you play the game of basketball, this is just good what happened. I mean, even in high school, you know who's the excuse me, but you know who's the prime example? Harry Giles. Mm-hmm. NBA right now. Tore what his knee twice in high school? Twice in high school, right?
Went to Duke for a year. Said he felt he should have set out that whole first year, not played at all. No, he said he wrote a player tribune and said he felt he should have not played that first year at all.
So this is the risk that you take. I mean, high school level, college level, pro level, like it doesn't matter. Like this is the risk you take. DeJuan Wagner is another one. All right, he played a year of college basketball. Sure, he left after that year. He got drafted. He was able to sign a deal.
That's what helped him.
It helped him get a few million, but he had to have kidney.
Something, yeah, I forget
Like
the type of.
he had to have like.
But I was gonna bring that up too. That was a good point. Because the thing with that though is, Coach Calipari got him out of there. Like, hey man, instead of staying here, like go to the league, make money. So when you're not able to play, like he was able to fall back on that money.
But this is the risk you take. That's
I mean,
what I'm
yeah.
trying to say. I mean, everybody wants to make 20, 30 million in a year and then make 150 million over your career, but it doesn't happen for everyone. And it can happen for a certain amount of reasons. It can happen because of health. It can happen because you're just not good enough. Like it can be a ton of different things. So this is the risk that you take. Like, I mean, injuries could happen, probably are going to happen. But it's just a risk you take. I mean, I don't care if you're playing at the junior high level. I don't care if you're playing in high school. I don't care if you're playing in college. I don't care if you're playing in the pros. All right? You can get hurt at any given time. When that given time is, you'll never know. Unless you step on the court and do it. Like, and do it. I mean, just think like if he doesn't play another game in college, right? He goes to the NBA, right? Second game of the season, tears his knee again. What would everybody say?
He got paid.
He got paid.
At least he getting paid.
But what's the difference though?
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
what's
no
the
difference.
difference? Like, what's the difference?
It's
Like,
no different. His career could still be over, and we just gonna be like, well, at least he got money.
I mean, Julius Randle tore his Achilles. He tore his Achilles in the first game of the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did.
First game of his career, tore his Achilles with the Lakers.
Wow.
Didn't play the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen. I mean, it can just happen. Like you just have to, you gotta train. You gotta train like you always would train. All right, and you have to put your body in the best shape and best position that it possibly can be in, and then hope for the best. I mean, it is what it is.
I think a bigger issue for me is the aftermarket ticket sales with college basketball.
I can't believe
I don't think my biggest thing is you shouldn't, if you have a college ticket, a ticket to a college basketball game, you should not be able to sell it to make profit.
Sure.
Like if you can't attend that game, you should only sell it for face value. Not because it's reports like that make it even, like that make it worse.
Yeah, man.
Because people start saying, oh, tickets sold for $3,600. No, they didn't sell a college ticket for no Somebody brought a ticket for probably $80, $100, whatever the regular face value for a Duke ticket is in Cameron Indoor, and said, oh, you want to come see Duke versus North Carolina? All right, I need $3,600. And of course somebody gonna pay for it because they want to see Zion play, and they want to see RJ play, and they want to see Duke versus North Carolina. They want to see listen, we want to see the Duke versus North Carolina rivalry. If we had the money to go to pay, even if Zion wasn't there, and somebody charged us a stack, we would pay a stack if we had the money like that to just throw and go to North Carolina to see it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in Cameron or wherever North Carolina plays.
Look at that.
You know? We would pay that though.
Don't be disrespectful.
Great Dean Smith.
Okay, there we go. All right. You know,
Respectful.
I don't know what it's called. I'm just being honest.
Hey, you done talking.
But I'm just saying, like, we would pay that because we're fans of those teams.
Right.
We're not fans of the players that come to those teams,
Absolutely.
right? Like if Zion went to Michigan State, right? Would you watch more Michigan State games?
Absolutely. Everybody would. They'd be on TV more.
But would you watch less North Carolina games?
No, still.
Because you're still a North Carolina fan. So you're not a fan, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think like the media is trying to spin it like we only watch Duke because of Zion. No, we've been watching Duke since the '90s We've been watching Duke since Coach K been there.
Absolutely.
This could all be resolved, and it will be soon. We wouldn't even be talking about this if they could just go to the league straight out of high school, which is about to happen.
I don't even think that's the issue, right?
No, I'm saying like Zion should be in the NBA right now.
No, I don't. So, and I'm glad you just said that. Zion was not a surefire top 5 pick coming out of high school. It's because,
Who?
man, listen.
Shit, who said that?
Who went number
Look
one
at
in
the-
last year's draft?
Man, no.
Look at the draft boards.
Who went number one in last year's draft?
Dude,
don't
what?
even know.
Aiden?
Oh, you kidding me?
Aiden, Luka, and Trey was the top 3?
Aiden Bagley, Trey, Aiden Bagley, Luka, Jaren Jackson Jr.,
Aw.
and Trey.
No, I thought they swapped 3-4.
No, 4. It was 3-5.
3-5?
3-5.
Who went 4?
Jaren Jackson Jr. in Memphis.
I think he would have went over Jaren Jackson.
Man,
Sure.
please, Zion should be in the league.
I think he would have went over
He should
one
be
of
in
those
the league.
two. I mean, I'm not saying like he should be in the NBA.
He should be in the
I'm
NBA.
not saying he shouldn't be in the NBA. What I'm saying is by him going to Duke and playing the way he's playing, he's solidified his spot as he's the number 1 draft pick. Period. Before the season started, everybody was like, "Oh, it's R.J. Barrett. It's R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett." Now it's Zion. It's absolutely Zion now. Absolutely, because he was able to showcase his skill. Like we only saw. Think about what we all thought Zion was gonna be. Just come in and just dunk all the time. We didn't know he was gonna bring that energy on defense. Like we seen him block shots, but this man, like,
Yeah, man, child.
come on.
But you know what I also think though, if we knew he could go to the NBA, I think we would have saw a little bit more of his actual game. Like I think they would have like showcased him a little bit more. I think his hype was all based on highlight tapes. Like
Right.
I've never even seen Zion play. I saw Zion play one AAU game and I saw it on Facebook Live like one time. He never was like on TV
Right.
or anything like that. So I think like if we knew like he was going straight to the NBA, I think they would have put him out there a little bit more, like they did LeBron. Like LeBron was on TV his senior year, like, and when he was on TV, you know what you was doing?
Watch.
You was watching.
Oh, I was watching.
You was watching because you knew he was going to the NBA, and you wanted to see what it would be like or what he would look like if he got drafted.
So now let me ask this question: if players could go to the league out of high school, can you create the story or the argument that seniors in high school should get paid? Because what if Zion can go to the league out of high school and he gets hurt his senior year, a la Harry Giles, and now he can't go to the league, or now he's not drafted as high as he thought he was gonna get drafted. And I'm just saying, these are the doors that kind of open up, right? Because now ESPN is coming to this high school, and we know ESPN ain't coming to that high school if Zion ain't there. Like, that's a whole nother box that I don't even want to open, but I'm just going to throw it out there.
If you say high school basketball, because I'm looking at on your face right now.
What?
If you say high school basketball players need to get paid,
No, man, it's not even the same.
Why is it not the same?
why
College-
is it not the same?
College basketball.
If he's bringing
He's bringing
if he's bringing
ESPN to the
ESPN
school.
to the school, they're showcasing games. Like why is it not the same?
Hey, LeBron said Shaq, AI, and some other players came and watched him play in high school. So he was bringing stars to St. Vincent,
He
St.
was able to
Mary.
get his mama a Hummer. All right.
No, his mama got him a Hummer.
Oh well, whoever got who the Hummer, it was they was getting paid.
No, he wasn't
somebody
getting paid.
co-signed
Somebody was getting paid.
That bank was smart.
Just like-
Your son LeBron James.
Somebody co-signed it.
No, the bank said your son LeBron James. Oh, he going to the league, huh? You can have this Hummer. Pay me when you get it. I know it's
They
good.
getting paid just like the college athletes was getting paid under the table. It wouldn't be nothing new to see them like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for high school, for that question you just had, no, I don't. I think it's a difference.
What's the
Okay.
difference?
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Quick question, just off subject, way off subject. Little League Baseball.
Oh my god.
Should they get paid?
Yeah, free chicken nuggets. Happy Meals, man. Where are we going with this?
I mean, they all on
They
ESPN.
are ESPN for a
They
whole
are
month.
For a whole month.
For a whole month.
Yeah.
You gonna have crazy parents. Then you
Yeah.
get with a whole nother.
They already crazy.
I mean, look, you
Yeah,
throw some money.
ask the coach.
Ask some dollars.
Ask the coach.
Ask
They
some
already
dollars.
crazy.
Some coaches got egos for free. You got a couple of dollars of that. No. No, sir. No, sir.
They out on TV getting exploited.
Yeah.
Nobody said nothing about that.
I mean, we had this
That's
Chicago
it.
team. They were blasting them all over.
Oh yeah.
All over
I still
ESPN.
got my Jackie Robinson West
I
shirt.
got my shirt
Come on,
too,
man.
Wow.
They was everywhere.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have got no money.
Huh?
They shouldn't have got no money.
They got too much press. That's why they had to forfeit. They started looking up what these
Those-
players was playing.
They had some haters.
They
had some haters.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, look, I had to keep politically correct. I'm glad you said it.
They
They
had
had
some
some
haters. They had some haters.
Because listen,
over
they
there in
ain't, the,
Evergreen Park.
they ain't the only team.
Over in Evergreen Park. Hey.
Oh,
I seen a couple of them.
yeah.
Yeah. Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
Harvey World. Come on, man. They had some haters. That was a good. That was a good conversation. Let's get to the hot take.
Woo! I got a 2-part hot take today. From my barbershop, man. Shout out to Flavors out there in Justice, man.
$50 haircut.
Nah, I don't pay 40 for mine.
Oh,
That's a lot of money, to be honest with you.
Like you.
What, 40?
I need my cousin.
Wait, you
I
really
need my
like
cousin to come back there and work.
Hold on. You paid $40 for a haircut.
Yeah,
Hey, where I go, they charge 50 now.
For a haircut?
yeah.
For a haircut?
That's a lot of money.
Wait, where you go? Wait, you talking about First and 10?
Yeah, they
They
charge 50
charging
now.
50?
Hey, it cost me 25 to get a line.
I'm just saying he got dread.
It cost me 25 to get a line.
Shout out my barber Jay.
It cost me 25
Oh
to
my
get a line.
God.
Yeah,
What?
man, that's
25.
That's the going rate these days.
I'm not revealing my prices.
Please don't.
40?
40.
Man, if I go
Have you had a conversation with your barber yet? Like, hey, bro, I can't get the grandfather.
I just need that was my first conversation. You know my cousin's the owner.
I go get three linings in 3 weeks. It ain't gonna cost me that.
It ain't gonna cost you what, 40?
That maybe
I just need my cousin to come back, man.
add 5.
Listen,
Did it cost you 45 for 3
3
lines?
weeks, just 3 liners.
Man, 2 lines is
I
50
need my
bucks.
cousin to move back from North Carolina.
The hell?
All right, I need him to move on back to the Midwest.
He's not coming back.
So I can get them $15, $20 haircuts back.
This the real hot take. The hell, y'all paying $100 a pop.
Hey, man.
Hey, I mean, that's why I don't get my haircut every week.
You're
Like
damn
you.
right.
Listen, I get a line in every other week now.
Yeah, I
You
wouldn't
gonna get
either.
a scruff McGruff
Yeah, I
one
be
week.
looking like Frederick Douglass.
Man, I can't pay.
Ah.
Look, and that's 25 no tip.
What?
That's 25 no tip.
And don't forget the tip. No, ain't no tip.
That's 25 no tip, Jack.
And don't forget the gratuity. Oh, hey, give us the hot take, man. I can't talk about y'all getting y'all haircut. What comes with it when y'all go in there? Is it like free drinks?
Conversation.
Good lines.
A burger?
Conversation.
Good
And
lines.
debates.
We got a hot take out of it. So shout out to Flavors again. Oh my God.
So, all right. So if the Lakers make the playoffs,
Okay.
Lord willing.
Lord willing,
Y'all done gave up hope.
damn near. If the Lakers make the playoffs, does LeBron James deserve to make first team All NBA?
No.
Oh, first team this year. Oh.
No.
Who else we got?
That will end his streak of 15 straight
Who else?
first team All
Paul
NBA.
George,
PG.
Kevin Durant.
You can get another front court player. They don't do center.
They don't do center?
Mm-mm.
They,
You can get
yeah, it's three
front court.
forwards.
PG, KD.
Mm.
I definitely agree. They deserve to both make first
Giannis.
team.
Them your 3. PG, KD, and Giannis.
And he missed some time this year too.
Yeah. I think the time off hurt.
Yeah, that time off hurt. That's crazy how we talking about LeBron's second team like it's like the end of the. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a big like. But I mean, realistically though, I could. Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right.
That's fair.
If they don't make the playoffs, does he deserve to make any team?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
All right, so
We can't even name
Who was that got snubbed?
nine front court players better than LeBron James right now.
Who got snubbed? Was it Harden that they didn't put on the first team a couple years ago? somebody got snubbed from.
It was hard.
Was it Harden either didn't make first team or he didn't make All NBA period?
He didn't make All NBA.
It looks stupid.
You can't name 9 front court players better than LeBron James right now.
But Houston made the playoffs that year, and he didn't make it.
Yeah, that was.
If the Lakers don't make the playoffs, does he deserve to make All NBA?
Can you name me 9 front court players better than LeBron James right now, this year? Anybody?
I think he still should make it.
Why do you think he should make it?
All NBA is just not about making the playoffs.
There's been, so we looked it up,
All
all right, as we were talking about this, because I wanted to dig a little deeper into it, all right? So we looked up the last player, the last few players to make All NBA
Right.
and not make
The playoffs.
the playoffs. Been 2 in the last 10 years.
Who?
Towns last year,
Okay.
and the other person was
So you mean to tell me Karl Anthony Towns can make All NBA
And
not make
LeBron
the playoffs and LeBron can't?
um,
Lost it, man.
it was I forget who the second person was off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, LeBron can definitely make it.
LeBron deserves to make it.
If Karl Anthony Towns can make it, and that was just last year, so we started a new trend then. Oh yeah.
So we started a trend of non-playoff players making All NBA.
yeah.
So I'm gonna put it this way, right? So I'm gonna go back to your first question. If they make the playoffs, does it make first team? The only reason I say no is because he missed those games, and because we all forget before he got hurt, they were a 4 seed. So let's just say even if LeBron, I think they said even if LeBron didn't get hurt, they would be a 6 seed right now, right? So let's just say if they stay at the 4 seed, or if they move, they potentially might be a 3 seed. I don't think they'll be 1 or 2, but they'll be a 3 seed. He definitely would get first team All NBA, denied for first team All NBA. Even with Paul George playing the way he's playing, KD playing the way he's playing, and Giannis. I think KD would be the one out of those 3. If the Lakers were a 3 seed, I would say KD would be the one not to be first team All NBA.
I would disagree with that.
You think LeBron, and so if the Lakers were a 3 seed in the West right now, you're telling me that LeBron James still would not make All NBA first team?
No. If they were a 3 seed?
Yes. If they were a 3-4 seed in
If
the
they were
West.
4, no. And let me throw another name out there that nobody said yet. Joel Embiid would be front court.
Yeah, he is front court.
He'd be a front court player.
But they're Philly is what, a 4 seed
They're
right
a 4
now?
seed, but they're creeping up on the 3. They're creeping up on the 3 seed right now. And they probably will get it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Indiana will drop a little bit. They will be a 3 seed. But his numbers are like, a lot of people not talking about Embiid numbers. Like, he's averaging like 28 and 14. Like, this is like damn near Shaq numbers.
Yeah.
But I think if you had Embiid, Bron, KD, and Giannis, they
It's
were
tough.
all healthy the whole year.
And PG.
Yeah, and PG. So Bron, PG, Giannis, KD, and Embiid, all healthy the whole year, right? And they are in their seedings. So all of them are a 3 seed or better. No,
4 seed or better.
yeah,
4
seed or better.
4 seed or better.
4 seed or better, right? Then I think that's where you start looking at, okay, where did they finish in the regular season, right? Like Giannis, to me, is clear cut because they got the best record in the league, right? Paul George is in an MVP conversation, so that's why I give the nod to Paul George. But that third spot is you start to look at seeding and the team. And with the team the Lakers have, if they were a 3rd or 4th seed, come on, man.
I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could pull it first team. Not with KD. KD's playing outstanding too. Like, I know a lot of people like to discredit them because of their team.
Yeah.
But KD's been outstanding. Even when they had guys out. Like we gotta remember that they were out Curry for like 10 games.
And
They were out Draymond for about 12 or 15 games. They didn't have Cousins for 30 games. Like, and it was a time and point where KD was getting 35, 36 a night. Like, and everybody wants to talk about the Harden stretch, but KD was going crazy too.
So when they pick all NBA, do they take any type of defensive stats, defense into consideration with that, or is that why there's an all defensive team?
I think that's why it's all defensive.
I'm
team.
pretty sure it's
Say
all
that.
NBA, so it
Yeah.
gotta be both sides of the ball.
So we doing all NBA. I wouldn't take LeBron this year. He been awful on defense.
Yeah, since he got back from injury.
No, I mean like,
He got 15. That would end his streak. He got 15 straight first.
is that
team
a,
NBA.
is he the only player that ever do that?
I'm pretty sure. Maybe Jabbar.
That's
Hold on, let's go back to this defense thing, man. Let's take a time out real quick. Let's go ahead. LeBron has been playing trash on defense since he came back from injury. Like,
I mean, he started the year off not that
He's been
good.
trash on defense for the last 4 years.
Not this bad. This has been the worst. This has been the worst. Like, it's been the worst. This has been the worst.
I'm done with y'all.
He single-handedly lost us that Memphis game.
And then
He was
Did
terrible.
you see the clip they
Oh,
showed
he
of Kuzma hustling back and forth, and Braun stood at the top of
He
the key?
was terrible on defense in that game. Awful.
And then he had the nerve to say that quote after the game, like, "Is this, do you think about this every day? Rapper go to the league at midnight."
I'm staying up to listen to it.
All right, dog.
I am definitely staying up to listen to that.
Rapper go to the league, but he's got his stuff hand and so much other stuff. He should never said that, bro.
So that means he's at the album release party right now?
What? Get ready.
Hey, I'm
And they play Milwaukee tomorrow.
Nah, he might be low management.
No, he better play this game.
No, he playing that game. Luke said the best. He's gonna start playing like 35, 36 minutes for the rest of the year.
Giannis normally plays really good versus LeBron.
You know how many minutes they played with Giannis yesterday? He was on a restriction. They called it a strict restriction yesterday against Sacramento. He played 24 minutes.
Hey,
I lied. He's got 10 straight first team All NBAs.
That's right.
10.
LeBron James, DNP, low management.
He will play.
Yeah, he playing tomorrow.
He will play.
And Giannis didn't play that much. Oh yeah, he gonna be ready. If you playing FanDuel,
He been on low management.
Oh,
Play
yeah.
off.
Giannis, yeah. Giannis been on.
yeah, he gonna play a good 36.
So do y'all think he makes second team, LeBron?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he would make second.
Even if they don't make the playoffs?
yeah, I do.
It's LeBron James. They're not going to just hold
All right, so let me ask this. What if he made third team?
I would be okay with it. I mean, they're not in the playoffs. I mean, I would be okay with it. I don't know who they would put over him.
Yeah.
It'd
So, I
probably
mean,
be like
Jokic.
Embiid,
So
Jokic.
yeah, Embiid, Jokic, and you would need one more player. Who would be the other player?
Front court.
Kawhi, you could say. But
Kawhi?
Oh.
No, I wouldn't do it. I'm just throwing out names.
You
forgot about
absolutely could do that. Like
could.
there'd be if they don't make the playoffs, there's a
How many games
chance.
has he missed?
There's a chance he would be third team all NBA. If they don't make the playoffs, there would be a chance. Legit chance too. It could happen.
If Carl Anthony Towns can make it.
I mean, he made third team though.
It's cool. Brian can make it.
I mean, whew, that's tough, man.
That's tough. Anthony
That's
Davis,
tough.
does Anthony Davis still make all the
God,
league?
God, no.
Hell no.
God,
Man can't even play 24 minutes no more.
That ain't his fault.
But that ain't our fault that he ain't gonna make it.
But
The man scored 22 points in 21 minutes.
Congratulations, it's the fourth quarter. Sit your ass down.
That ain't
No,
his
no.
fault.
That's cool, but that's not gonna make all NBA when you got guys playing 35.
yeah, he
How
def-
they ain't gonna
yeah,
make
he-
all
yeah,
NBA?
He definitely not make
No,
all NBA.
man.
But you wanna know what though? Like, if he don't get traded next year and he don't make all NBA again, like he can't get the Supermax.
Yeah.
He can't get the Supermax.
Man, I'm shocked. So y'all don't think Anthony Davis could be third team All NBA?
No.
No.
Why? Because he don't play. Because now after the All Star break, he don't play more than 20 minutes,
Yes.
and that's not his fault.
It don't have to be his fault.
The man is balling the minutes he's on the court.
Well, that he went really crazy against the Lakers.
No, I mean look at the other games. The man is.
But when you see 22
Okay.
minutes in the stat sheet,
I
bro,
understand the
that's
minutes
not gonna get
aspect.
you. That's not all.
But I'm
NBA.
talking about the points. He's
And-
still putting up points.
and
He's
they
still
suck.
rebounding.
And they suck.
I'm okay with that. But
But his
Minnesota
points is down though.
did make the playoffs last year. As a matter of fact.
No. Oh yeah, they did make the
They did
playoffs
make
last
the
year.
playoffs last year.
Minnesota did.
They was the AC.
They're the AC. They beat the Nuggets. They beat the Nuggets.
Yeah, they lost. They lost to Houston.
So yeah, so they were in the playoffs.
They was in the
So
playoffs.
he'll be the
So,
exception.
yeah, he would be the exception.
It was Anthony Davis All NBA last year.
Yeah.
Pelicans
Yeah.
made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pelicans made the playoffs last year though.
He
Has Anthony Davis ever made All NBA and when the Pelicans didn't make the playoffs? That's look, we gotta figure that out. Cause
I would assume so.
That's Anthony Davis.
made first team All NBA.
'Cause if you think about it, this year before-
17, yeah, they didn't make the playoffs in 2017, did they?
That was the. Let's look.
If you think about it, man, he was averaging what? He was averaging what? 28 points before this, like the trade and all that stuff.
Yeah, like
28.
like
17, 18 or 16, 17?
16, 17.
Nah, they didn't make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he made first team All NBA actually.
And y'all telling me Anthony Davis can make All NBA?
Yeah.
Listen what I'm saying though. He was just averaging like 28, 29 and what, like 14, 13? That's about to go down to 23, 22, and 11 just because he can't play all the minutes.
Hold on.
Man, this is gonna mess up his.
It's gonna mess up his stat. It's gonna mess up everything.
They have
Like,
to. They have to push for a trade in the summertime.
Yeah,
They have to push for a
He
trade.
needs
in
to
the
be
summertime.
traded first day.
If they don't trade him and he has to do this again next year, he won't be able to get the Supermax.
Dude,
That's gonna hurt.
dude.
That's gonna hurt. So they're gonna have to push
So
for
that
a
man made
trade.
first team All NBA, didn't make playoffs. You're absolutely
Didn't make
right.
playoffs.
LeBron-
I don't think they was even close either.
Absolutely right. LeBron James can make All NBA. And the
Listen,
Lakers,
I would third team, man. He might make third team though.
How you gonna make it though? You gonna make it?
Hold on, let me see.
At the age of 34, third team All NBA.
You gonna make it? Because if we go back and look at some of our, like, man, all the players, man, they wouldn't always make it All NBA first team.
Who?
A lot of players, man. Like if you go back and look, like I know AI didn't make All NBA first team every year.
Yeah, but you're talking about Allen Iverson. We're talking about LeBron James.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kobe didn't make All NBA first team every single year.
I mean, after his, let's look that up.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's
When did the restriction come for Davis? After the All-Star break?
yeah.
Or before the All-Star break?
They
No,
had
it was
one
before.
A little bit before.
Alright.
It was right when the trade. It was right when the trade didn't happen.
I mean,
He had a game on Valentine's Day.
Only year Kobe didn't make first team All NBA was 05, and that was the year he got hurt. He made All NBA from 2002 to 2004.
I'm talking about first team though.
First team from 2006 to 2013.
So he's a. Let me see.
He's an 11-time first team All NBA.
Okay, so 2000. Got you.
There's
So,
only-
I mean, he had a gap though where he didn't even make it.
There was only 1 year.
That was that 05, that 04-05 season.
Yeah, he got hurt that year. He only played like 40 games that year.
04-05.
That's how they got Bynum.
Nah.
We were bad that year. Yeah, that's how they got Bynum.
Oh, yeah.
Tell you, man.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying like.
We were bad. We had a lot of people. We got Andrew Bynum in the draft.
Okay. 2000.
Come on, man. I know.
Well, I mean, what about the other years before? Like he didn't come in the league in 2002.
I mean, he was third team in '99, second team in 2000, second team in
Yeah.
01.
So it's not a bad thing for LeBron to because he's been what? He's been in the league how many years?
LeBron, 16 years.
16 years. And he's been 10 straight first team.
But there's still people saying that he's the best player in the world.
He is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I can't remember the last time I said somebody was the best player in the world and made third team All NBA.
I mean, you got to take into consideration what's going on though. Yeah, I hurt.
If LeBron James doesn't get
Yeah,
hurt, is he not still the best player? Like,
Yeah, I heard.
so are you saying you don't think LeBron James is the best player in the world anymore?
What I'm saying is the gap is like really slim.
I could agree with that.
I mean, like slim. Like it ain't
Like
like
anorexic slim?
yeah.
bulimic slim?
It's a supermodel skinny, supermodel slim.
Still a little room.
You got a little wiggle room.
I mean,
Still a little
small, man. I mean, like
Still a little room.
like it used to be like where I thought like he was here and like
So
KD
who's
and
behind
like
him?
KD and those guys were like like kind of down here. It ain't like that no more, man. It's like this, man. It's like this, and I mean I get he's getting older, but
He just got hurt, that's all.
maybe it's I don't know, man.
Right, go
Even
for
his
it.
game like starting to look a little old, like I'm tired of him. First of all, I'm tired of him driving right and then spinning back left every single time. I mean, it is every single time, like every single time. Like his moves are starting to get a little. I don't know.
You gotta go. You gotta know.
I
your
think he's the
friends,
best
bro.
player in the world still, but it's getting harder and harder for me to say. I feel like this guy's closing the gap.
Is it hard for you,
Giannis, KD, like I feel like guys are closing the gap.
I mean, eventually that was gonna happen though. You can't be
that.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like the gaps, like
And also, you can't be the best player in the world and not make the playoffs either. I don't give a damn what happens. He ain't missed that damn many games.
I still think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs.
It's getting tough.
I mean, but then you put some other guys in his spot with the Lakers. I mean, they might be in an even worse position.
Absolutely true.
So I mean,
Absolutely true.
we'll see what happens. Man, it was an injury. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
even now, I mean, he's healthy. I mean, let's
he back.
not like
Yeah.
cut any slack. And they still not that good.
Was not that good.
What are they? In their
You say
last
he's
10?
not. That
No,
good.
no. The
Oh.
team is not.
Oh,
that
the
good.
team.
The team is not that good.
Team still ain't.
And I don't think they've been playing bad. Like, I don't think they've been playing bad, though. Like, Ingram's been playing better. Like, Kuz has always been consistent. Like, the rotations are bad. The coach is bad.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
I mean,
and coach,
there
listen,
it is.
But they've been in games, though.
games. Coaches
But they-
can lose games.
But they've been in games, though. And it almost seemed like,
Rondo, like he needs to do a job of putting him in position. Dude, Rondo don't need to not start. That was the dumbest thing he could have did
Rondo needs to play more.
after the Boston game.
37 minutes the other
Dude,
night. He had
it's-
16 assists.
That allows you, number one, a straight point guard on the floor.
And he makes Ingram better, too. Rondo makes Ingram better. He knows how to give him the ball in good spots. Ingram moves without the ball a lot more with Rondo on the
The
floor.
ball don't stick as much. Like, come on, man. LeBron, and that's what I was trying to tell you when you were saying they want LeBron to run the point. Dude, the ball is going to stick. Like, LeBron, LeBron need to be,
So LeBron's a ball stopper.
I mean, when he runs point, he don't run it like a true point guard. He can run point, but I don't want him running, like, if you got Rondo on your team, like, let Rondo really do this. You know what I'm saying? He really setting people up. We amazed by LeBron because of his height. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can run the point, but no, Rondo, like, he was able to orchestrate with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and KG. You know what I'm saying? Like, let him do the same type of thing.
I think guys just know that Rondo's looking to pass, so they move without the ball a little bit more.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's somebody when Bron was in Cleveland, they said it best. Bron doesn't pass the ball until you're in the spot he wants you to be in to receive the ball. Like Rondo will pass, like if you're cutting to the basket, Rondo will hit you while you're cutting to be able to either have a secondary move, like your primary or secondary move. Bron might hit you when you only have one move. So, like, I think that's what Ray is saying the difference is. Like, it looks good when Bron throws that cross-court pass to a player that ain't nobody expecting to get the ball and they hit a three. But, like, if he's dribbling the ball and holding it to 5 seconds and then he throws it and he misses it, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Rondo would make that pass, like, earlier. Or Rondo is going to hit you, like, I forgot what game we was watching, and Rondo hit Zubac perfectly. And you was like, this why Rondo need to be playing? Mm-hmm. And it was just like, you kind of see the difference in, I guess, I wouldn't say the passing ability, but the type of passes and when players are getting a pass.
I think Rondo doesn't see the court better, but sees the play developing before LeBron does. Like, he can see, he when he drives, he knows that there's a chance this guy might step up. He's already thinking about it. If he takes a step, boom, it's gone.
He's a true point guard.
I feel like LeBron needs to see that other guy, then make the decision when he can pass over the top of guys, and then hit you for open jump shots.
I mean, he's a true point guard. That's why when people like LeBron, to me, like he's a small forward. You know what I'm saying? He can run the point. And like I told you, I don't like seeing him bring the ball up no more, man. Like, dude, get down court, let Rondo bring it up, get in a spot. Rondo is gonna make your life that much easier. Like, so man, Luke, get your shit together. That's all I gotta say about that. They gonna make the playoffs, man. God's plan. Lakers gonna make the playoffs.
They actually have a chance to be a 7 seed.
Yeah, it's bunched
I know
up.
a lot of people say
There was only
they
two back
stay-
in the loss column.
Yeah,
Only two back in the loss column. They can't be losing games to the Grizzlies.
yeah, they got to win that game.
Uh,
And the Hawks.
So, I mean, since we was already talking about NBA, man, like, the Lakers and the Celtics are kind of like in the same, both of them have been declining since the Anthony Davis trade rumors. What do y'all think about that? Or do you think is with the Celtics, it's just something totally different?
Yeah, I think it's something a little different. I mean, but also has something to do with that too. Like they got these young guys got in the back of their minds too that they might not be here after next year. You know, a guy like Tatum who got him all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and then also in his mind he's like, you guys are getting, want to get rid of me or thinking about getting rid of me. And then it came out, an article came out, and I'm not trying to read too much into none of the rumors and all that stuff, but they said the Ainge is willing to give up anybody for him. I mean, that's the rumors. I mean, and the younger generation ain't like the old school players. Like some of the old school players may, not watch ESPN as much, or
They watching everything.
they watching everything. They on Instagram, they on Twitter, they scrolling on the plane, they're scrolling on the bus rides. Like they see it. I mean, they get the notifications just like everybody else does. So when they see that type of stuff, it probably does put some doubt in the back of their mind. I mean, you got a guy like Jaylen Brown who was outstanding the first 2 series last year in the playoffs for them. And he don't even play nothing but 20, 25 minutes anymore. So he's kind of like, And you guys, are playing Hayward.
Ooh, that's who needs to be
25,
out of the rotation.
25, 26 minutes. And he's making $24 million.
Garbage.
And I'm doing more than him. Like, you start looking at those type of guys. I still don't think they look at Kyrie different. I think a lot of people think that the young guys looking down at Kyrie or we don't need Kyrie. If they do think that, they need to shut the hell up. Kyrie is dynamite. Like, he's prime time. Like, he's, he is what they want to be. Like, he already is that, He's been to 3 straight finals. I don't care if LeBron was on the team or not.
Yeah.
Like, he played on the stage. He got the experience. He hit some big shots in plenty of those games.
Hit the big shots.
Yeah, hit the biggest shot of probably this era.
What?
I mean, to be honest with you, besides maybe Ray Allen,
Yeah.
Besides that, Kyrie in Game 7 with the ship on the line, and willing to take the shot at a young age too.
Splash.
So
Those draws, you hear me?
I think he has those type of guys. I think they do listen to him and they do look up to him, but I think it's Hayward's.
Stevens got it figured out. We gave him all the praise.
Yeah, and that's my thing though too.
Yeah,
Like,
figure it out.
and this team this team isn't as gritty or as good defensively as the past teams that they've had. When they had Crowder, Bradley, like those guys were ready to get down and get dirty, and they knew IT couldn't defend, and they didn't care. They was like, "Hey, we got you. Like, we got your back. Like, you score buckets, we'll do everything else." They don't have anybody like this on the team except for Smart.
Yeah.
Except for Smart. Smart's the only guy that want to do dirty work. Only guy want to get down to nitty gritty. Don't care about scoring.
Mm-hmm.
He the only person they got like that.
Yeah.
So
I think I said it at the beginning of the year. Stevenson was going to have to figure it out because the Celtics had too much talent. They have too many like pieces. They have too many similar players that played the same position. So he was going to have to figure it out from day one. I don't think he's done a good job of figuring it out. I also think this is one of those things where it shows like Hayward, when you miss a full year, a lot of times they always say you need a full year to recover before you get back to yourself. And this could be one of those where maybe they should have taken the boogie route. Like the Celtics should have taken the boogie route and said, okay, Hayward, we know you can play, but we want to slowly bring you along, right? Like maybe we don't play you at the beginning of the year. Maybe we play you start playing you in November and bring you along slowly. I also think the Anthony Davis trade, did it play a part in it? Yes. But I'm going to give it to y'all like this. The Lakers had the same trade. Since that news came out, right, Brandon Ingram has scored 22 or more points every game. Every game. This is probably the best basketball he's played since being at Duke, right? Kuzma, Fi said, he's been consistent all year long. Like, the Lakers aren't winning, but the production in the players that was on the trade block, except for Josh Hart, hasn't declined. Like, Ball has been hurt. Hart is hurt still, probably. But Ingram and Kuzma, the two big names in that trade, they are hooping. Tatum, on the other hand, he looks like Tatum, but it's not that he doesn't look like that franchise cornerstone anymore, right? And then I think Brown is just lost. He might be upset. He might be pouting because he's not getting the minutes. Maybe Hayward is eating into his minutes. And that could play a part in it. But I don't think Brown was one of those names where they was like, oh, Brown is the guy we want. It was more so Tatum. Mm-hmm. And I think the Morris twin, he said the Celtics just don't look like they're having fun.
He said even when they win.
But if you watch their game, they don't look like they're having fun. Like, even, like, if you watch the Lakers game, like, sometimes it look like the Lakers having fun. Other times it's like they going through the motion, right? Like, last night, the Lakers was up 11 and JaVale McGee tries to throw, like, a between-the-leg pass. Like, that's like having fun. It's stupid, but it shows, like, they got a little life. They having a little fun. Like, they feeling good, right? It was dumb. Like, he should never do that as a center. But it shows life in the team a little bit. Right? Like, the Celtics, it just looked like they out there like, oh, okay, we got to play a game. Oh, Kyrie going to do his thing. Let me go to my spot. You know, oh, it's my turn to touch the ball. Yeah. Right? And then, like, Kyrie's interviews are, like, so nonchalant. Like, that's Marcus Smart's opinion. Like, that's his opinion. Like, I don't know.
Were the expectations too high on him?
Absolutely.
Through the roof.
But you got to expect that. If you get to a Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals without your two best players, absolutely everybody is going to expect you to run away with the East now that the big bad wolf of the East has gone west. Absolutely. But, and this goes back to coaching.
Why they put that big bad wolf of the East going west? Clever.
But
We need to go back down east.
when you think about it, that's Brad Stevens, right? Like, should Kyrie have came back and been the focal point of the offense? Or should we have worked Kyrie back in a different way, right? Like I said, should Hayward have started playing in November and then slowly matriculate Hayward in there? Maybe he should have been on a minutes restriction of maybe 15 minutes a game, right? Like, slowly bring him, let's see what we got, because he ain't there.
Also, I think that this is Steven's first time with the actual challenge of this. I mean, he's used to coaching a bunch of guys who are underrated, guys who are being overlooked. Underdogs. He's been coaching those type of players his whole entire career. All right, at Butler, they were that. When he first got to Boston, they were that. IT, like, nobody wanted IT. Like, everybody got to remember that. Nobody wanted IT. Avery Bradley was underrated. Crowder was underrated. Like, they got Horford for a lot of money. The Hawks didn't want him. They didn't want to pay him. You know, he was underrated. So he's used to coaching a bunch of underrated guys. And now he's got stars on his team. Like, he got guys who are on the brink of being stars. And I just think checking the egos is hard for him. And it's a learning curve for him too, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just the players, it's the coaches too. So
I'm glad you brought up the point when you're talking about, like, players on, like, social media. Because you know what pissed me off? You know what pissed me off, man, when they lost to Memphis? That man got up there and posted about him being in the top 10 in scoring. And scoring and
scoring and assists. He's the only player.
Dude, congratulations. But you ain't got to post that, bro. Like,
that's what he's supposed to do.
At least not right now.
Not right now. Y'all are in the playoff race. Y'all are in what, 10th place. Y'all just lost by, and they got blew out that game.
No, they didn't.
They
lost by 5.
What was it?
That was a game when Noah had the charge.
Oh,
Noah picked up the charge on.
It was another game. What? Didn't they get blown out one game?
No. They lost to the Pelicans by about
was it that
13.
game? Whatever the game was, he posted. I think it was that Pelicans game on that.
It was after.
He might have posted that game too, but I'm sick of him posting and they losing. Like, you don't have to post everything. Like, bro, we know that Bleacher Report is gonna post it. ESPN posts all your stats when you eat your breakfast in the morning. We don't need you, you know what I'm saying? Like, coming on here showing your individual accomplishments and your team is battling for a playoff.
Okay, so go ahead, Five.
I don't think it's a bad thing that he posted it, but it does send the wrong message to the young guys. Like, I mean,
what
it does.
What are we valuing?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what do we value? Are we valuing achievements, individual achievements, or are we valuing making the playoffs? And then when you go into an interview and say, "Oh, we don't have the focus in the right direction," like, you kind of contradicting yourself a little bit. And that's been the thing with LeBron with me over the years when he does interviews like that. Like, he kind of contradicts himself. Like,
Always does that.
you can't be on social media. You got probably the biggest following out of anybody in the NBA, and gloat about individual stats.
He gloating a lot too.
And he's been doing this for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since like he's starting to crack into like the top tier when it comes to achievements, like he does post a lot. But at the same time, this is what older players do. They start to really value what they've done over their entire career, and they like to value it right then and there. Like,
Thank God there was no social media around when Jordan was playing. Thank
Jordan
God.
would have players mad though. Like,
Oh, yeah. I think Bron is in a lose-lose situation with social media and when he posts, what he posts, regardless. Because it's like,
He didn't post what they eat.
but social media wasn't to the level it is right now.
Cool.
Like, think about it. Like, if you don't hear something from your favorite player or the best player or the top players, and you wondering a question like, why ain't he saying nothing? What's going on? Like, if a story comes out, like, I'll use Antonio Brown, right? If the story comes out through the reporters or through the media that Antonio Brown wants out of Pittsburgh, you know, Antonio did this, he did that, he's doing this, he's doing that. Like, we'll all be sitting here wondering, like, okay, Antonio, when you gonna say something? Like, you don't have nothing to say? Like, is this all true? Like, now we get to speculate. The fact that Antonio can get on social media and he gets on social media and gives his side, he says how he feels, what's truly going on, or gives his side of it, then we kind of have both sides, right? So, in today's social media, you're in a lose-lose. I hate to say it, you're in a lose-lose. If LeBron does, like when he in the playoffs, when he goes 0 dark 23, whatever he calls it, and doesn't post anything, sometimes you're sitting back and you're like, man, y'all just got blown out. You ain't got nothing to say about it? Like, what you doing? Like, what's going on? But it's like, he tells y'all, I'm taking a hiatus from social media, right? But when he's not taking a hiatus from social media, fans love to highlight, he posted this, he posted that, he doing this, he doing too much. Y'all losing. Go practice. Work on your free throws. Do like, he can't win. I hate to say it, he can't win.
it's gonna be a 0 dark 150 if you know what I'm saying. If he
Yeah,
can bring
he can win. Like, everybody's not looking like, dude, we know you're like, you can't like lose, and y'all are in a playoff run and post accomplishments, and then like,
I mean, that's a great accomplishment.
it is, bro, it is. But you ain't gotta post it. What we posting on Instagram for?
All right, so let me ask you this question. You say you glad Jordan did, like, social media wasn't around when Jordan was around, right? If you found out, like, so say for instance, social media was around and the Bulls got blown out of the game or they lost the game, right? And you knew Jordan Jordan posted about being in the casino after a loss. How would you have felt?
If Mike posted in the casino,
Yeah, like,
number one, Mike wouldn't post nothing. He don't even have an account now.
no, that's not the question.
But I'm saying he wouldn't have had one
I'm
then.
just saying
How
how
do you
times
know?
have changed.
How do you, like,
If
if
times were different,
if times
back
were
then,
different.
it's a possibility.
Like, let's say if Jordan was in this era, the same Jordan, he was in this era where damn near every athlete is on social media, right? To some degree. And Jordan, the Bulls get blown out, and Jordan posts headed to the casino, or he posts a snap or Insta story in the car headed to the casino after a loss, turning up. Like, how would you feel?
It's hard for me to answer that question. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause like Jordan was never that. I can't even make that as an if. Like I can't like cause
Jordan
Mike,
was never what?
he was never that person to be out. Like Mike stayed away from a lot of that stuff. Like that's why he shied away from like politics. Mike was never the one to like.
I ain't saying him speaking up on so.
No,
I'm
I'm
talking
just
about
talking
him
about-
living his. We know Michael Jordan was a gambler.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
know
yeah,
Michael
we know
Jordan
that.
was in the casinos.
Casino smoke
Come
cigars. all
on,
that. But I
so
don't-
if
I-
he was doing that after a loss, how would you feel? Because that's it. That was his thing when he played.
yeah, I just can't.
I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying, but
it's
It's hard to answer that because Mike just wasn't that type of person, though. Like Mike, like he wasn't that type of person to be like, oh man, like nah, man. Mike was like ready to fight his teammates, man.
That don't mean Bron wasn't ready to fight his teammate.
I wish he would be.
Man, he ready to hug the other team at times. Are you kidding me?
I'm just tired of saying that the team just would have no emotion. Like even when they lose, like it's just shoulders down, walk off the court.
Dude.
Like nobody yelling at it. I saw an exchange between Kuz and LeBron the other night, and I was like, thank God. I was like, please. I was like, somebody's upset.
Dude.
But then when he did it in Cleveland, when he's upset at the coach in Cleveland, then everybody making a meme like Tyronn Lue about to get fired, Bron leaving. This like that's what I'm saying. He's in a lose-lose situation. When he shows emotion,
Coaches a little different. I mean, you can't really yell at coaches, like because everybody else thinks it's okay. So you really can't yell at the coaches. It's just a whole perception type deal. But other players though, like if he not in his right place, like somebody need to be like, hey, Bron, like shift over. Like somebody have to show some type of emotion on the floor because sometimes you need that wake up call.
now I'm gonna say that never happens to LeBron.
No, never. I mean, I've seen Wade do it. I've seen Wade do it.
Probably
That's
the
about it.
only player that have, and that's my issue with his teammates. Nobody ever calls out LeBron for what he is not doing.
I'd have called him out on social media, bro. Like
Chalmers started to do it a little bit
Yeah, like,
at the end of the Miami days.
you gotta
But
call
he was
him
just
out.
tired of being yelled at.
yeah, like I want Rondo to do it. I feel like Rondo like could
Rondo
call-
did say something to him the other night though. He passed the ball in the middle of the floor. He was supposed to go up for a dunk and then he tried to like pass it out to like Bullock or something. He was like, dude, that's your dunk. Like,
Yeah.
dude, go to the rim and dunk it.
Dude, if I was
LeBron
one of-
wasn't trying to hear him. He just kind of walked to the bench and kind of just sat down. But at the same time, he did speak
Dude, if
up.
I was one of the younger guys, I would let him know about the social media posting, and I would be like, dude, so one of your teammates, like, let's say you had an accomplishment like that, and I'm on your team. One of your teammates will probably post it before you even need to post it. Like, yo,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you posting this
Kuz
yourself,
do it
bro?
all the time.
Yeah.
Well, they were at the beginning of the year.
It just-
Kuz and them.
Yeah, like it don't send out the right so game. Like how would you feel if it was a game like the 82nd game of the season? They needed it to make the playoffs, but let's say he broke some type of scoring record or whatever, moved
And
up
they
in the
lose.
rankings, and they lose, don't make the playoffs, and hit his fool go to Instagram posting about his individual accomplishment.
Well, I never was the guy that did that myself, so you know how I feel about it.
But I'm saying though,
But-
if you see that though, and you just lost
I'm
the game
upset.
to get,
I'm pissed.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm pissed.
Like bro, like I could
I'm
see him
pissed.
doing something like that.
Like I said,
Like if they get blown out and he
Yeah.
passes Jordan because he's only 98 points,
Great season at the end or something like that.
we'll be back.
yeah, you can't. I'm in complete agreement. Listen. I'm the guy. I was upset. I cost my team many of relay medals because we didn't finish in the spot I thought we should finish. And so I'm gonna be real. Like it was one time we was at an invite and I got the baton in last and brought us to fourth. I crossed the finish line. I threw the baton. And my coach grabbed it and he came to me and he was like, "You can't do that." And I was like, "Do what?" He was like, "You just cost all these guys." And I said, "I don't care. Like, we finished fourth. Like, I'm not running in this relay to finish fourth." And from that point on, my coach never let me run anchor again. Ever. Ever. Because he knew if I crossed the finish, like, I was that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I was that guy. Like, I called my teammates out. I held them to a high. I knew some of my teammates wasn't that good at track, right? Like they weren't. Like we placed a lot of times because of me and my brother, Poom. You know what I'm saying? And some of the other guys that was good. But like majority of them, nah. So when they would be like, "Oh, you running a 4x8," You know what I'm saying? Use it as a warm up. Ain't no warm up. I ain't out here wasting my energy. I could run this 8 fresh. You know what I'm saying? Or I could run this 4x4. Like it wasn't. I wasn't doing stuff just to do it. Like when it was conference time and I had to do that, yeah. But like a regular invite, no. I got pulled to the side a lot. Like, hey man, you need to work on your attitude. I don't like losing. I'm not accepting losing. I don't care if we were supposed to lose. Give it your all. And if you ain't got it, man.
Glad to know that you wouldn't have posted on social.
Oh no, I wouldn't have posted. What?
I'm glad to know that.
What? Man, listen.
Oh, I'm glad to know that.
Especially when people came and they only ran one. The 4x8 was their only event. Brother, listen.
You better come with it.
You better pull your hamstring or something. Like, what? And then be in the stand. Look, what made me more mad, like we finished in 4th, and they just sitting in the stands chilling like, oh, what you got next, hey Will? What I got? What you got next? Oh, I'm done for the day. Get out my face. Get out my face.
See, we just don't come from that era, so it's a little different. I mean, social media was just getting big. Like, even look
Social media didn't come big till we got in college.
Yeah, look at some of the articles that we had. Like, you remember you used to have to go get the paper to go see some of your achievements and say your numbers. Like, there was some games I didn't even know how many points I had scored until the next day. I was like, hey man, let me go grab the paper. Let me see what I had, because I didn't even look at the stat sheet. Like, now players.
During the game.
Players in the game looking at the stat sheets, or at halftime looking at the stat sheets, or in the press conference looking at the stat sheets. And it's
Some
like,
of them got tablets on the court.
looking at plays.
Can't
and
make a free throw though. Can't make a free throw.
So we just didn't come from that era, man. I mean, it's kind of easy for us to sit here and say that we wouldn't, but I mean,
Bron, he's older than us.
but he's still playing, and he's like playing with that era, like like we're no longer like playing with that era, like it's been over with for us for a little while now.
Yeah.
But he's a era bridge. I mean, he's a generation bridger. Like he's what Cole say, he's the middle child. Like he's the middle child of NBA greatness. Like he's come up with the younger guys who are gonna be great, and he played with the older guys that are great. So he's that guy right now.
Oh man, we gonna. I hate you for that. For that reference.
Oh, man.
The middle child.
Cold world, eh?
Boof. It's go talk, man.
James
Go
Harden
talk. Almost had 100 fantasy points. I want to let you know.
58 real points.
Goats.
Go talk. What you got,
What you
man?
got,
What
Boo?
sport first, man?
I'm gonna keep with the NBA. We'll keep with the National Basketball
Got
Association.
Chucky Atkins and Mookie Norris.
Man, you better not say no bums. I swear. You say some
man,
bums,
we got
we gonna get you out of here.
David
We
Wingate.
got legends, man.
Okay.
All right, player 1, 1 championship. Player 2, no championships. Player 1, 19 NBA seasons. Player 2, 18 NBA seasons. Player 1, no MVPs. Player 2, 2 MVPs. Player 1, 5 all NBA first teams. Player 2, 3 NBA first teams. Player 1, 9 all defensive teams. Player 1 and player 2 both were 5-time assist leaders in the season, so they led the league in assists 5 times.
So clearly he's a 2-point guard.
Thinking, man.
How many rings?
I know who one of them is.
How many rings did player 1 win?
I
You
know who one of them is.
He said 1. Player 1 got 1 ring. Player 2 got 2 rings.
Player 1.
No, player 2 got no rings, right?
Player 2 got no.
I know who player number 2 is already. He said off the MVPs, like.
2 MVP.
Oh,
Oh,
now
that's
yeah,
Nash.
yeah,
That's
I
Steve
didn't say, I
Nash.
should have said MVP.
I knew who that was automatic.
Player 2 is Nash. Okay, player 1.
And I know who player 1 is.
Nah.
I know who player 1 is.
Jason
Kidd.
Oh,
Jason
Yeah,
Kidd.
this kid.
I feel
Okay.
okay. I see. That's what I said. They point guards. I knew it. Nash and Kidd.
Nash Kid.
When he said the 2 MVPs and player 1 ain't got none.
Yeah, 2 MVPs gave it away. Once I heard that, I was like, 2 MVPs. I was like, it's gotta be that.
Nash, Kidd.
I know who I'm taking. I'll let y'all go first. I already know who I'm taking.
Give me Jason Kidd.
Good job.
I've had this discussion already.
I'm taking Kidd.
Good job. He gonna be the one to take Nash.
1,000% taking Jason Kidd.
Yes.
No, I'm taking Jason Kidd. Give me Kidd.
I'll tell you why I'm taking Jason Kidd. Both were magicians on the offensive end. Like, everybody made a lot of other players a lot of money. They both were orchestrators. They put guys in right positions. They hit guys when they needed to be. The only difference is Jason Kidd was a 8,000% better defender than Steve Nash. He could defend multiple positions,
Better rebound.
way better rebounder, and he could just hold his own. Like, he could hold his own defensively. Like, if push came to shove, he could guard your small forward. He could guard your point guard. And in the half court, he was way better than Steve Nash. I think a lot of people fail to realize that. Like, if the game slowed down, Steve Nash's game kind of went down a little bit. Like, he would struggle at times. Kidd still knew how to orchestrate in the half court, put guys where they need to be. He could be a slow down point guard. He was phenomenal in the open court, just like Steve Nash was. And he just had that change of gear, man. He could play slow, he could play fast, he could defend, and turnovers. Like, people got to realize, like, when Steve Nash won MVPs and he led the league in assists, he also led the league in turnovers. Like, he took a lot of risk with a lot of passes that he had. And I get it. That was the offense that they had 8 seconds or less, 7 seconds less, whatever D'Antoni's rule was back then. So I get it. But Jason Kidd, he didn't make those turnovers. Like, he made the right pass at the right time, every time. And I will 1,000% take Jason Kidd over him any day of the week.
Hey, Will?
I don't even know what to say after that shit. I mean, I'm gonna ask this question though. Was Steve Nash, not scoring wise, but just having the ball in their hand, dribbling a lot? Because that's what I remember about Nash. Like, always having the ball in his hand, going around the court, you know what I'm saying, waiting for the right pass to make. Was Steve Nash James Harden in the D'Antoni system before James Harden? As far as having the ball in his hand and dribbling the ball as much as Harden. Now, I know Harden's scoring, so it's more like it's more obvious to us. But I want to go back and watch some of them Phoenix games and teams just to see if that comparison is fair. But my vague memory of Nash is always like I wouldn't say dribble the life out of the ball, because I know D'Antoni has always had that 7 seconds or less. But I can remember some plays where Nash would have the ball at the top and he'd go all the way down and come back around out towards the top and then throw a lob. You know what I'm saying? So was it kind of like the precursor to it?
You could say that, because at the end of the day, Harden is doing exactly what Nash, that's why when D'Antoni got there, he was like, Harden's going to be our point guard.
Yeah.
But Nash, it was way more ball movement.
No, I'm not saying, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's more, to me, it's more obvious because Harden is dribbling and he's scoring at the end, right? Where Nash was dribbling and he was dishing it off at the end. Like, his job was, I'm setting up Sean Marion, Joe Johnson. Like, he was setting all them guys up. So it don't look as bad.
I mean, he did used to dribble in circles, but he was dribbling in circles with a purpose, though.
Oh yeah, Harden dribbling with a purpose.
Sometimes I don't know.
His purpose.
He pass up all type of open looks and go right back and take a 30-footer, step back.
Sometimes his purpose could be.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm there. It's like Jason Kidd, Jason Kidd. I think I would have liked to see. I always say I believe the Phoenix Suns would have won that series against the Spurs when Robert Horry hip checked him, and
they couldn't stop the bleeding.
Amari got suspended. What was that? Game 6, or was that? Yeah, that was Game 5. They went up 3-2.
Oh, when Amari came off the bench,
and he got suspended for Game 6. I firmly believe that was the Western Conference Finals too, wasn't it? Yeah,
But that wasn't the year. That wasn't the year Nash nose was bleeding and they couldn't stop the bleeding.
I'm not quite sure, but I do know that was the Western Conference Finals, and they went up 3-2, and I believe that they would have went to the NBA Finals had they had Amari Stoudemire game 6.
You know what was
That was man.
I want to know if that was the game he was bleeding and they couldn't stop.
That was the most. I don't think so. No, that wasn't the game. That wasn't the game.
That wasn't the game.
Because that game, when that happened, I believe wasn't that in Phoenix?
I don't remember. I just remember they couldn't stop the blood and he couldn't go back in.
No,
They
that
lost
wasn't-
that game.
No, that wasn't that game.
But Phoenix was known for playing, that finesse style.
Yeah.
And man, to beat San Antonio in San Antonio, Game 5, and to not have Amari Game 6, like I would have loved to see him on that level in the NBA Finals.
And Duncan just smashed him in game 7. I think he had like 40 there.
Cause that they lost Game 6 at home. Game 7, it was cooked.
done.
It was done.
Done.
And who would they? I gotta look up and see who they would have played in the finals that year.
Business.
It would have been the Pistons.
Yeah. That wouldn't have been a good series.
I would have liked two different styles like that though.
No,
I would like
that
to see
wouldn't have been
that.
a good series.
I would like to see that.
No,
Yeah.
no. The Pistons' whole philosophy was pushing up their defense, and yeah, they would have picked Nash up for about 70, 80 feet like all game long. Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. Nah.
I mean, it ain't like.
And they had 2 bigs too.
Well, see, that would have been the thing,
Yeah,
though.
she
But like,
and Wallace protecting the rim. Like, nah,
They
would've-
probably would put Tayshaun Prince on Steve Nash.
Yeah, they wouldn't have had a chance. Nah, they
that would
would.
have been the series.
Nah, they would
Could've
have.
That probably would have been sweet.
What? Because who did they have? Nash. You had
Stoudemire.
Stoudemire. Who else did they
Sean
have?
Marion.
Sean Marion.
Who was that?
Raja Bell.
Raja. Who was they center though?
It was last Stotty playing the center.
Yeah, Stoudemire was playing center.
Last Stotty playing the 5.
Man, you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, they had Marion playing the 4.
For
And Joe Johnson might have
was
been
he,
the
was he
3.
on that team?
Nah, Joe Johnson was
Johnson was
gone
gone.
already. Joe Johnson was gone.
So who was
already.
the 3?
That's-
Maybe Jason Richardson?
Or
Oh.
it might have been because he did play with them.
Yeah, maybe Jason
So
Richardson.
Richardson or Rajah Bell?
Yeah, they had Raja playing the 2,
Yeah.
I believe.
So I would have liked, because my thing is, if they could have beat the Spurs, that would have
Man.
they would have had all type of confidence. going into that
Detroit
series.
would have put Tayshaun Prince on Steve
I
Nash,
don't think that's a matchup they wanted.
and you would have had Ben Wallace on Amari
They
Stoudemire.
slowed the game up too.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
I mean, what do you think the Spurs did? That's what I'm saying. If they were able
The
to,
Spurs were still playing a little fast.
no, not that wasn't as fast. They didn't start playing fast like that
Yeah,
when
because what's his name was already gone.
Who?
They started playing a little faster when Robinson left.
I mean, but the Spurs, Pop didn't really adapt to his system till like after 2010.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
You know
I'm
what
not
I'm
saying
saying?
they weren't playing like,
But, like,
they weren't playing like Phoenix fast,
Yeah.
but they
Them
were,
scores was
they sped the game up a little bit.
Man.
I mean, look how low scoring the Spurs Pistons.
That's what I'm
series was.
saying. Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Them games was in the
80s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah,
I would like
because
to
of the
say.
Pistons a lot though.
So I think Phoenix got robbed though. I mean, but the rule is the rule though. If you leave the bench,
Don't need the bench.
don't leave the bench. He barely left
I
for
think
2.
that's
Why was he even on the bench?
Huh?
I think that's
Huh?
Why was he even on the bench?
That's a great question. That was my question. Why was Amari Stoudemire even on the bench?
It was the end of the game.
Yeah.
Why?
The game was already won.
Why? But still,
Yeah.
Hey, why was he even on the bench?
if the game was won, why is Amari Stoudemire on the bench and Steve Nash is? Why are they both not on the bench? Why is Nash even in
I would
the
have
game?
to, I would have to look back, but they were both. I mean, it could have been like a defensive substitution or something like that.
Nah.
Who knows?
Nah.
We don't know.
You
But-
got wait.
What defensive
You
I
said
mean,
defensive
offense- it could've been-
substitution
he
and
could've got-
Nash
he
still
could've-
on the floor?
He could have got subbed out. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
Obviously.
either way it go, it was a hip check. I mean,
let's go back and watch the film.
I wouldn't put that as the blame. Like, oh, you don't sub Mario, he don't get. I mean, nah, man. Like,
I'm
He
with
broke
five.
the rule.
I'm with five. If the game is a blowout, neither one of
it
them.
wasn't a blowout.
But what I'm saying, if the game was won,
You know what? I think he had fouled out. I think Amari had fouled out that game.
Could have been a possibility.
So hold your horses. I definitely do think he fouled out.
All right.
Get D'Antoni some type of credit.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's
Let me
D'Antoni.
get Antony some credit.
Yeah. For that, he ain't tell you got fouled. He fouled out.
I mean, it's D'Antoni. I mean, why would we give him any credit?
Yeah, he ain't make a bad decision.
He
Yeah.
never did anything. He never did anything good in his life.
Man, he coached the Lakers.
He didn't do much coaching. He didn't do much coaching.
Oh man.
That was a Kobe Bryant coach team.
Oh boy.
Jesus. All right, Booth. What you got for the athlete
Today,
today?
we talk about a great black man.
I'm good, sir. I am good,
A
sir.
black man that was great.
Hold on, for anybody that doesn't follow Danny on social media,
Jesus.
Danny has been doing Black History Month shout outs all month long. I won't go into any of them just because we try to keep it a little PG around here. But yeah, if you want to check out some Black History posts, go check out Daniel Slim Naughty Boo on Facebook, and you get you a few laughs in. So go ahead, Danny. I just wanted to tell the people that
Like I said, today we talk about a black man.
great black man.
It's a great black man.
Who you got,
For the
Booth?
football. This black man was a 5-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowl selection. 1973 broke the record for rushing yards. 2003, he did it in only 14 games. Now, of course, the record has been broke, but that still stands for the record for 14 games. This man is a legend. Everybody could run the foot. He's one of the best running backs ever. Background might be a little funky. But nevertheless, I'm talking about my man's Orenthal. James Simpson, the juice. Yes. No matter what you might think about him, he is great. He was a great running back, man. Y'all can't deny greatness.
That's how we ended Black History Month.
That's how we ended it, man.
That's how
The
we ended
juice.
Black History Month.
Oh,
That's how we ended Black History
Orenthal.
Month.
James Simpson.
He said his background might be a
That would be a
He said it might
little
be a little sketchy.
little sketchy.
lot of sketch.
But hey, if the gloves don't fit,
Oh my God.
you must quit.
Follow us at Goodfellas87.
Johnny Cochran quotes on here.
Oh my God.
The gloves
Orenthal.
don't fit, you
Hold
must
on.
quit.
Hold on, man. Hold on. We gotta dig a little deep into this one, y'all. Like,
Y'all forget he was a great running back because you know
We didn't forget that.
the
say his full name one more time.
Orenthal. James Simpson. That's what his mama named him.
Dude.
We should not be laughing when we making up historic
Legend,
black
Hold
athlete.
on, man. We can
Story.
have.
But the fact,
We on Central Time, so we don't have an hour and 20 minutes left in Black
And he was
History
an
Month.
MVP in 97.
And we in here talking about O.J. Simpson.
We ain't talking
y'all.
about OJ. Not orange juice. Not
Was
the
he
drink.
not- Was he not a great running back?
he was.
He was an awesome
Okay.
running back.
He was.
That's great.
Never asked you this.
Because
Got one of the best ESPN documentaries though ever though.
see,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the best ones.
I can't
You
believe
see
That's
that?
a, that's a sketchy background.
You see that one? You
Yeah,
see that one?
Oh yeah. I tell you, every documentary OJ got, I'm watching.
Come on, man.
Every documentary he got, I'm watching.
The people versus Orenthal James Simpson.
That was a
documentary.
great
That was a
documentary.
great documentary.
That was a great documentary.
I was in the house at 7 o'clock every Saturday.
Yeah,
That came
what?
on.
I need to go find it. So I
Did you have a list you narrowed down for this?
No.
OJ, man.
No, he didn't.
You knew who you was coming in here talking about.
OJ, man.
Soon as we told you it was your
He
week.
told me his
You
mama.
didn't want to do Jim Brown.
No.
Nope, I won't do OJ.
He didn't want to do Eric Dickerson,
Oh,
OJ.
God.
Walter Payton.
Nope.
Sweetness?
Off the ash.
We couldn't get
OJ, sweetness?
what's the other running back? Gail says. We couldn't get Gail says.
Man came in here with some O.J. Simpson.
White folks been killing black folks for years.
See what I'm saying?
Oh,
Go, yeah.
my God.
Go. Let's go. Come on, man.
That's
Come on.
He might have took
Ray.
away.
Come on,
Ray.
man.
Ray,
Wrap
this up now.
Follow
Now.
us at Goodfellas87.
One more time, though, fellas.
With a 3 instead of an
If
E.
the glove
on
don't
Twitter.
fit, you must what?
He
Quit.
is drunk. Okay, he is drunk, just like Orenthal. Alright.
Oh, man.
He got on the black leather gloves. So ladies, you see this man after midnight run for your damn life. Follow us on Instagram at Goodfellas Podcast. Jesus Christ. Like us on Facebook, Goodfellas Podcast, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube page. Y'all got anything y'all want to add?
It's time to go.
Happy Black History. We, hate to say it, but that's the last Black History Month athlete that we have.
You got any
I probably should've
suggestions
went
for
first.
next year? We taking them.
Don't let Danny talk.
Happy belated birthday to P.
Oh yeah, shout out P.
Shout out P.
Faithful listener to the show and also a good friend of all of ours.
I had to shout out, but I forgot. I definitely forgot.
At least OJ is free, right?
Listen, can we go? Can we
He's
go?
free.
home?
You're a free man.
Next year, y'all gonna get on here talking about R. Kelly.
You need to get that man's memorabilia back. How can you steal something that's yours?
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
It's a lot going on, y'all. We gonna be back next week.
You don't even know what to say anymore.
Hey man, when y'all wake up today, when y'all see this, it's gonna be March 1st. Just make sure y'all play first of the month by Bone Thugs. That's all I really care about at this point.
Rapper go to the league.
Rapper go to the league at midnight, man. Until next week, love, live life, boof, lay off the brownies, brother. We are out. Oh my God.